An unsettling indie narrative experience that blends speculative fiction, surreal horror, and some philosophy even into a short but haunting tale. Welcome to Check That Book, a special place where you and I get acquainted with arguably the most disturbing pieces of literary, cinematographic, interactive, whatever, you name it, work. And today we do not look at any book or film, it is a video game. I've recently played the game and I replayed it off screen as well, and oh boy, this game doesn't rely on jump scares or gore to evoke discomfort. Instead, it unsettles through implication, emotional estrangement, and disorientation. It was a joy playing this one. The links to both parts will be down below. Yeah, I know the quality is lacking, albeit it's a visual novel basically. So I hope it's okay. At least the sound was captured well enough. So do check it out if you're interested, but there's a plethora of YouTubers, gamers, who do a much better job than I did, but nonetheless, playing this with you guys was fun. So yeah, make sure to check those videos out and give them some love if you might. But now that I've played it, and I've seen a couple of playthroughs later on, I made some conclusions. The game unfolds largely through dialogue, stark environments, and symbolic encounters. As the player progresses, they are led through a surreal series of scenarios, interviews, and interrogations that begin to blur the line between the real and the imagined, the personal and the universal. I, for one, am a big fan of such style when it comes to video games. I admire point and clicks, Rusty Lake, my love. Maybe I should do a video on Rusty Lake as well. But I have such decent competitors. I'm not going to compete with them. I have we have Raz Jazz on YouTube and the Rusty Truth, the channel that focuses on Rusty Lake. Shout out to you guys. I mean, you've done such a great job with the lore that I'm not even gonna get into it. I think maybe if I discover, because I agree with you guys pretty much on everything there and every aspect, maybe if I find something else or something more or dig deeper, I'll do a video on Rusty Lake separately. Someday, perhaps. Maybe we should dive deeper into the theology of Rusty Lake, but I'm pretty sure somebody has done this already, but we'll see, we'll see. Right now, we talk about No, I'm Not a Human. So, well, you remember what it was about, right? You are locked in your own home, and your neighbor tells you that, well, suddenly we have this cataclysm, the sun is exploding or whatnot, and strange people that are called visitors or guests keep on bugging normal people with attempts to enter their home, and well, obviously I don't know, not for the good intentions, so don't let them in, but at the same time, for some reason, you need to let normal people in. You need to let others in so that you will not end up alone in your apartment. That's the catch, and that's the trickiest part, because you can't afford to be alone for reasons undisclosed, really, and yet you have to be very careful as to who are you letting in, because it might just be the visitor, The premise is so cool, actually. This is this surreal apocalyptic scenario that I normally don't really care much about, but in this case, this is haunting and so amazing and bizarre. Trioshkas builds a speculative framework not through elaborate science fiction or futuristic technology, but through subtle world building and ambiguous storytelling. The player is never quite told what the speaker is if they are not human. Instead, the game demands a kind of interpretive work from the player, provoking speculation about consciousness, empathy, and the limits of language. I'm going to get even more speculative here, but this lack of concrete answer as to, whether your current guest is a human or not, it kind of mirrors the real world philosophical debates. What makes a human, It's it's actually, it can be so much deeper than it is. But is this label of being a human, is it always a positive one? Because we, as a supposed human, the protagonist of the story, often are tempted to perform questionable deeds. And that is frightening. What makes No, I'm Not a Human so disturbing is its emotional ambiguity. There's a numbing monotony to the way characters speak, paired with content that is anything but mundane. The game explores themes of guilt, transformation, rejection, and the unknowable depths of another's experience. There's also this layered allegory that we can find in No, I'm Not a Human. For example, what if our main character is suffering from a mental illness? Because his actions and self-isolation, maybe there is no neighbor, actually. Have you thought about that? Maybe the neighbor that we see is our alter ego. Who knows? Or it's our schizophrenia. On the other hand, it can be a meditation on otherness, race, gender, queerness, neurodivergence, even anything. So there's a lot of possibilities here, and all of you professional game reviewers out there, I mean, if you're watching, take notes, and maybe speculate with me. I would be looking forward to more disturbing lore when it comes to games such as No, I'm Not a Human, because I'm here to share my experience after playing the game completely. And by completely, I mean I played through the demo. The full release is due in autumn. And once it's out there, I'll make sure to replay it. And maybe we'll meet up here again, speaking about No, I'm Not a Human once more. Because who knows what Trioscars is going to put in there. A recurring sense of dread emerges from the player's helplessness. You are trapped in a dialogue you cannot fully control, where your choices feel more like expressions of confusion than autonomy. This reinforces the game's thematic interests in moral paralysis and systemic dehumanization. In No, I'm Not a Human, you're not allowed the satisfaction of resolution, only your own interpretation so far. And that is amazing. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube that speculate about the disturbing background of the lore of this game and everything. It's so cool that one game, one little indie horror, that it can provoke so many people to think so many different things. Honestly, you guys are amazing out there. I've seen a lot of speculations and conspiracy theories when it comes to this game, and that's awesome. There are echoes of Franz Kafka in the game, actually, because we have kind of cold, almost institutional setting and inescapable judgment that's present in this game. So yeah, I haven't heard anyone compare this game to Kafka's writing style, but here I am doing just that. But there is also a deeply personal horror here. The fear of being unknowable to others, and worse, of not even knowing yourself. No, I'm Not a Human is a speculative, allegorical descent into psychological estrangement. Trioskaz masterfully strips away the conventions of typical narrative games to leave behind something raw, abstract, and deeply disturbing. It asks its players to sit with discomfort, to probe the implications of what it means to belong and what it costs to be labeled human. And in doing so, it offers no clear answers, only a haunting sense of suspicion and dread, inescapability, and those would be the key words with which I'd describe No, I'm Not a Human. A decent game if you like the way it looks, plus the soundtrack, obviously, the one that you're hearing in the background right now. It's also the soundtrack from the game. Hauntingly beautiful. I can't even... It reminds me of the Depression Chronicles, I think. Yeah. It's very, very bleak and at the same time highly romanticized. I mean, the soundtrack right now. And I think it fits perfectly with this game representation and style. In conclusion, I believe that if you're a fan of indie games, indie horror, check it out. This is a very well-made, creepy piece of work that we are all looking forward to in autumn 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like disturbing content, and not just disturbing, if you like interesting content, I hope it's interesting, by Jove. To me it is. Mainly we focus on the disturbing, but you know what I mean. If you like gripping content, consider giving this video a boost in the form of an erect thumb. Tell me about your experience with the game, and drop more disturbing game recommendations. Whenever I have time, I'll play them if I haven't already. So, once again, thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I shall see you all as soon as possible. Goodbye.